it's Megan. Welcome back to another video. Sorry this is so late, but I thought I would very quickly do my April TBR video. This is going to be so quick because, spoiler alert, I might have already started a couple of these books. There are some books I definitely want to get to in the month of April though. So I for sure, where should I put the books? I'm gonna put them on this side for a change. I for sure want to read Killjoy, have to read it, by Holly Jackson. It's the little novella that's a prequel to the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, which I absolutely loved. I loved book 1. I think I gave it like 4 stars. It was good for a young adult mystery. Book 2, I was like, not quite as good because the pieces don't come together until the very end, whereas in the first book, the pieces come together throughout, and I like that. And book 3 was absolutely phenomenal. I tell everybody that's worth reading the first 2 just to read book 3 because it's crazy. Things go off the rails, like it's nuts. So this book, though, is the prequel to all of those before any of the main mysteries, so I'm not sure I'll like it as much. I don't think it's probably even going to be that necessary, but I have to read a book for Kayla from Books and Lala, her Buzzword-a-thon challenge. I've been doing it all year, and I've been doing really well, keeping up with it. And the book for the month of April has to be something that has an emotion in the title. So obviously joy is an emotion. So I'm going with Killjoy. So I must read it. It's very short. It's like 100 pages. So I have the ebook already from the public library, and I have not started this one yet, but it's spring break right now currently. So I'm ready to start it momentarily. Next, I want to read at least a couple more books in the Wayward Children series. Don't know how many I've read. What am I up through book 4? I'm up through book 4 right now, so I'm halfway because there's 8 in the series as of right now. Next is Come Tumbling Down, yes. And it follows Jack and Jill again, and apparently I just mostly like the stories that involve Jack and Jill. Like, they're my favorite ones. The first one involved Jack and Jill and I liked it. The second one involved Jack and Jill like a lot because it went to their actual world of the moors or whatever, and I liked that one even better. I think I gave it 4.5 stars. And then books 3 and 4 I read last month, and they were fine. I think I gave them like 3.5 stars. They weren't my favorites. And then, so now we're back to Jack and Jill again. I think we go back to the moors. So I'm kind of like, oh, is Shauna McGuire just trying to give us the characters that, you know, she knows we want to see, but I think I'm still going to enjoy it because she is giving us the characters I want to see. And then the next one is I can't remember the names of these books. Across a Green Grass Field, something like that. But I hear it involves like horses and horse people, and I don't really care about horses that much, so I'm not sure that this one's going to be something I love. I think it's a character we've never been introduced to before, so I'm kind of scared about that one. But I'll be reading both of those, hopefully. At least both those. Maybe I'll just do 2 a month. That sounds pretty good, and then I'll save the last 2 for May. So I'll definitely finish the series, or at least get caught up very, very soon. But the Come Tumbling Down book, I only have the ebook, so I'm gonna have to read it like physically. And then Across a Green Grass Field, I'm gonna read audiobook. I have it from the public library. I also want to I have another audiobook from the public library, which is The Book Eaters. I can't remember the author's name, but obviously it'll be right here on the screen. We have a physical copy in the library, but I don't think I'll get time to read it. It's not like super long, but I think the audiobook's like 13 hours or something. All I know, it's like there's people that eat books, but I think it's set in the real world, and it's maybe magic. I don't know. Is there magical realism involved as well? I feel like it's supposed to, I don't know. I think there's also a mystery. I think there's somebody that doesn't just eat books, but they eat like people or souls or brains or something like that. So there's apparently more to it than just eating books, but I like books about books. So I love the City of Dreaming books. And I love the cover. It's intriguing, and I'm going to give it a try. If I can get a hold of it, I also want to read A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher because it just came out at the end of March, and I can't seem to find it anywhere. It's a short, I think it's just a novella, but it's scary, like haunted house story kind of thing. And I've read like 4 books by her now. I read one of her other scary books. I read these Hollow Places or something like that. The Hollow Places maybe? Yeah. And it was decent. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. I apparently like her fantasy novels a lot better. I loved A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking and Nettle and Bone. So maybe her horror is not for me as much because I didn't really like What Moves the Dead. That was the Fall of the House of Usher retelling. So that's what, 4? Yeah, I've read like 4 of her books. So I apparently want a T. Kingfisher kick this year. So I have to read it. If I can get a hold of it will be the problem because yeah, the library doesn't have it yet. I also want to read, spoiler alert, I've already started it, The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshani Chokshi. I've never read anything by this author before, but so far I am loving it because it's very poetic and beautiful, and I had no idea it would be this like pretty writing. It is definitely very like magical realism vibes. It is like fairy tale-esque, but set in the real world. And I had it on my radar mostly because of the cover, but I've been hearing a lot about it on BookTube. I think it's a really new release. I don't know if it's this year or last year, but it's really new, and I don't usually read like new releases. Yeah, 2023, so it's this year. But so far I am loving it, and I'm actually about halfway finished already, but so obviously it's on my list. But anyway, it's a lot smaller than I thought. I imagined it to be like a tall book, but it's also just very short. But anyway, it's really good so far. The rest are all carries over from last month. The Counselors, if I can get around to it, because it's a fun summer thriller set at a summer camp, and I really enjoy summer camp stories. I loved like The Parent Trap growing up, at the part where they were at the summer camp was like my favorite part, and I'd watch it over and over. So I'm gonna try this one. Also, I had this on my TBR last month and didn't read it, but it's so short. Surely during spring break I can get this thing read. It's the graphic novel that's like technically in between Vicious and Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. So I love those two books. They're some of my favorite books of all time, and I can't wait to go back and read them again, honestly. So maybe instead of just reading this by itself, maybe I should read them again. Oh, now I'm convincing myself. Like if I reread Vicious and then read this and then read Vengeful again, because it's been so long. And I know I liked Vicious better than I did Vengeful, because I feel like Vengeful wasn't really even necessary. Like I still gave it 5 stars. It was still amazing, but it wasn't even like necessary. So it's like a better version of X-Men, basically. It's like X-Men, but if the characters were all very morally gray and just want revenge on each other, that's what it is. And I loved it. So what else? Oh, the other one. Will I ever read this book, The Fall of Babble? I don't know. Maybe spring break is the time now. It's absolutely massive. The font is super teeny tiny. 4th book in the Sinless Sin series. I've been through this like multiple months in a row. Maybe this is the month. Who knows? We'll see. That's really it. The only other book that's kind of on my radar is Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, because where I was looking for books that had emotions in the title, I found this one with angry, obviously, when I was just looking through all my like 400 books on Goodreads looking for books with emotions, and I went ahead and reserved it from the public library, and I think my loan is pretty much here. So I have the audiobook that if I want to try another sci-fi, I'm so scared of sci-fi lately because I've not enjoyed sci-fi. But I read A Psalm for the Wild Built and whatever the sequel was called, A Prayer for the Crown Shy. I liked the first one, the Prayer for the Psalm for the Wild Built, and it was by Becky Chambers, but it was a short little novella. I believe this one's much longer. I don't know how much longer, but I think it's a regular novel. So I'll give it a try just because I know I liked her writing style. So that's all the books I hope to read in April. Like I said, spoiler alert, I've already started some of them, but let me know down below if you've read any of these books and what you think of them. So also let me know if you also enjoy Last Tale of Flower Bride, because it's so pretty. I just love how blue it is. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.